everyone, welcome back to the channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here, and today we're back with a crochet tutorial on how to crochet a chunky blanket. Now, the only thing you're going to need for this is some chunky yarn. You can use whatever type of chunky yarn you want. In mine, I'm going to use a roving yarn from Mainstays, which is the brand from Walmart. It's a really good yarn, but I will give you the disclaimer that it does shed, so you have to be careful. It doesn't shed as much as merino wool does, but it does still shed a pretty good bit. So you're going to make sure, you want to make sure that if you're not wanting it to shed all over something, keep it away from that item. Also keep it away from people that are going to pick at it, because pulling this super tight will rip the yarn. So I have 8 skeins of this yarn, and again, if I can remember, I'll put the price and stuff over here. Like I said, I got this from Walmart. I have 8 skeins of it. And so we're going to get started. So all you need is your yarn. And I have a big working ball of yarn right here. And what I'm going to do is put a knot at the end of the roving yarn, just so that it, when I put the knot in it, it keeps this part from unraveling, because as you can tell, there's nothing keeping that from unraveling. Well, now there's a knot there to keep it from unraveling. So the first thing we're going to have to do is make a loop. We're going to make our slip stitch. So, alright, so first things first, we're going to make a loop. We got to make a slip stitch to get started. So, what I did is I make a U shape with my yarn. And you can do this if you're learning how to crochet. This is how you make a slip stitch. This is the chunkier version. So, I have the tail away from me. And the working yarn is the yarn that you're using to pull from the ball. So the tail end of it is further away. The working yarn is closer to me. I'm then going to take the bottom of the U and twist it. Just like that. Now when you twist it, you're going to take your pinchy fingers, go up underneath, and grab that working yarn. You're then going to pull it through. Pulling the tail end will tighten this loop. And just to make sure you did it correctly, you should be able to pull it and adjust it. Just like that. Okay? So there is our slip stitch. And now we can get started with our project. So then what we're going to do, I'm going to pull up some working yarn here, is we're going to make 22 loops. Okay? So you go into your slip stitch here, and you're going to pull up yarn. There's one loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got to be careful with roving yarn, because sometimes it will split. 9, 10. I'm going to pull up some more working yarn. I have a whole bunch of it sitting here next to me that I pulled out, so we're going to pull that up here. So how many stitches did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is going to be 11. 12, 13, and because this is a chunkier blanket, I am making the stitches a little bit bigger than normal, and you'll see why here in a few minutes when we get to the next row. So I think we were on 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we have 22 loops now. And when you get your 22 loops, you of course want to count again just to make sure. And how am I counting these loops? So if you look here, you see these little V's. This is a loop. So from the top here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we have 22 loops that we've made, and you can essentially just lay your project down like this. I'm going to push you over here this way so you can see what I'm doing. And then now what we're going to do is we're just going to make a series of loops, okay? We're going to start off in this first loop here. And this is just going to be like the start of it. So we're just going to I'm going through the top of it and pulling up a loop. This is like the border of it. So there's a loop there. Then you're just going to do that through every loop going down. So 1, and you should have the same amount of loops. You might have an extra one. If you do have one extra one, it won't kill it. 2, 3, and if you see what I'm doing, all I'm doing is pulling that working yarn through those loops. So we have 3 loops here. Trying to make sure I have enough working yarn going here. All right, so we have our 3. You're gonna go up underneath here, grab your working yarn, pull it through. And I'm making the loops a decent size so they don't get lost on me on my next row. And again, because it's a chunky blanket, you want to make sure you can see those loops, so you don't want to make them too small. So we're just going in between those V's and pulling up loops. And this is about the gist of making this blanket. This is the meat and potatoes of the blanket, is the loops. You're just pulling up loops just like this. If at any time I'm going too fast, or you missed a step, or you want to try again, please feel free to stop the video, pause the video, do whatever you have to do, take a break if you need to, and come back to the video. It's not going anywhere, and it's not a race, so you don't have to be super quick. This is just a nice, simple project that I like to do. They make great gifts, the chunky blankets, so that might be an idea for you. And they're super soft. Nothing like a big, super soft blanket. So there we have it. So let's count to see how many stitches we have. 1, 2, or loops, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we have the right amount of loops. So now all we're going to do is essentially go back the way we came. So we are now, instead of starting at the right going left, we are now going from left to right. And essentially you're going to just keep doing the same thing. So you're going to find a loop, find that center part of it, pull up your yarn. You're just going to keep making loops. This is all it is. You just keep making loops. Super simple, super easy, stress-free. You got this. Don't let it get frustrating. If you end up pulling up an extra stitch, that's fine. Pull out your loops and try again. No harm in it. Everybody makes mistakes. We're all human here. So we're going to pull up this loop here. Find the loop. Pull it up. I'm going to do a couple of rows with this with you, and then I'm going to come back towards the end so you can see how we finish off the blanket. Also, if you're working with this yarn and say you don't, because this yarn only has 26 yards of it. So what you can do is when you end a skein, which I will show you, of course, I'm going to go and get to a part where I am needing to add another skein, and then I'll show you how I attach another skein. And all you do essentially is make a knot. The knot will get lost in the stitches, so you don't have to worry about it looking super pretty. You just essentially make a knot. So we're just gonna keep making these loops here. You can move your project back and forth if you need to. Just be very careful with those loops. You don't want them to come out. We're gonna pull that working yarn up through there, just like that. And as long as you keep doing this, you should have the same amount of stitches. So you gotta remember you have 22 stitches. I'm just gonna pull that up there. And I'm making the loops a decent size so that I can see them. You're hearing the dogs. All right, so then we have our next set of loops. And then now, sorry, make sure I adjust you so you can see what I'm doing here. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back the other way. So now we're going right to left. So you just do the same thing. Pull up that loop, make a loop here. You just want to make sure your loops are facing the same way, so you might have to twist them a little bit. And what do I mean by that? So how you have it here, you just twist it. You don't want to do it like this because that twists that thing right there. You want it nice and straight, so you make it like this so you can see the loop go all the way down, okay? It's like looking at a bunch of little U's. You want to see that U go just like that. Make sure it's nice and uniform. Making sure those loops are a decent size. And again, if you missed a step, if you need to regroup, please feel free to do so. Oh, hold on, I saw something on my yarn there. Pull that up, twist and pull it up. Twist and pull it up. Twist and pull it up. We're going to grab it just like that and pull it up. Find that center part right there. Pull that working yarn through it. Do that again. And this is it. This is how you make the chunky blanket. You just keep doing this back and forth until you get the desired size you want, or the desired length, I should say. And usually to start off, I say do anywhere between 15 to 25. If you want to do more than that, that's fine, but obviously you're going to need more yarn if you want it to be bigger or smaller. So we're just going to pull that up. You can also change colors by making knots in your yarn. So if you have like a different color that you would like to add into the blanket to make it a striped blanket, you can do that as well. We're just going to go back and forth. And essentially you just keep doing this back and forth. Something nice and repetitive. You can watch TV, podcast, listen to podcasts, you know, do whatever you do. You're not really chained down to it like arm knitting where you have it on your arms and you have to figure out how to get it off. You can easily take a break when you hit the end of a row. So we are now on row 3. This is the last row I'm going to do with you going back the other way, and then I'll leave and come back whenever I am, there we go, so you can see a little bit better. I'll leave and come back when it's almost time to start taking it and finishing it off. So here we go. Grab that loop, pull through that working yarn. Grab that loop. Make sure again that you have that full loop just like this. And with roving yarn, you got to be careful because it will split. You don't want it to split on you too much. And if you have longer nails, it also could hinder that too. But no worries, as you can see, it's not hindering it too much. Pull that working yarn through. And once you do 2 or 3 rows of this, it goes by super quick. Like, it's not a hard project. This usually is about not even an hour. You can probably complete one of these blankets after you learn how to do it. You can probably complete one of these blankets 30, 45 minutes. So, nice simple project for you. We're just going to pull it over here. Grab that yarn, pull it through. And again, at any point in time during this video, if I'm going too fast or you need to slow things down, look at the bottom of your screen. If you hover over it with your mouse, there will be a little gear in the bottom right-hand corner. If you click that and click speed, you can make me go as fast or slow as you need me to help you out there. So we're just gonna, and I'm just moving this back and forth like a typewriter. Just back and forth, back and forth. Now I have about 3 skeins that are already tied together because I had already started this project on my own, and then I decided I was going to do a tutorial for it because I'm pretty sure if I show it, people are going to ask me how I did it. So I figured it'd be smart just to do a tutorial because, you know, if I teach you how to do it, you can do one yourself instead of just like trying to figure out how to whirl I did it. So we are back at the end, and we're going to take a look. See? Look how beautiful that looks so far. And then when we're done, we can stretch it and pull it and make the stitches tighter. So that is row 3, I believe we are on. We're going to get ready to go do row 4. I'm going to do that on my own. Essentially, you just repeat that process until you either need to attach more yarn, which you can use a different color or, you know, what have you, or until you get to the end. I'm going to keep doing this, and when I come back, you will notice that my blanket has gotten a lot bigger because like I said, I have 3 skeins of this yarn already attached to each other. And then when I come back, I'll show you how to attach another skein of yarn to it. So we'll be right back. Okay, now we've come to the part where we need to add an extra skein. So I've gone through the 3 skeins that I had rolled into a ball. And as you can see, this is what I have so far. Isn't it awesome? So this is what I have so far, but I've reached the end of my skein. So what do I do now? This is what we do. So we're going to get out another skein. And we're going to try to find the end of it. And what I like to do is I do like this to see if I can see like the ending of it. I think it's right here. Is that it? Or yep, that's it. So then we're going to unravel that. And this is how we're going to attach it. We're just going to tie a knot. So we're just going to, so you can see what I'm doing here. Oh, you might want to move you up a little bit. So let me do it on the dark part so you can see. Cross it over, take the one on top and pull it under like this. And then do it again on top here. You're just making a knot. This knot will keep it secure, nice and tight. And don't worry about this part. You can snip that off when you're done, but more likely it'll get hidden in the blanket anyways. So we're just going to keep working with this. And I actually happen to run out like right at the end of the blanket. So the first stitch, I already got the first stitch in. So we're just going to go over to this next stitch here. We're going to do just like that. We're going to bring the knot to the end, like right at the top of the loop there, and then we're just going to go to the next loop, pull that through, and you're just going to work it just like that. No different, nothing special, just that loop is going to be behind it, and then when you're done, what you'll do is you'll trim the tails off that tied off part so that you can hide it in the blanket, or you can just kind of weave it into the blanket if you want to. So we're just gonna, because it's knotted up, so it's not gonna come apart or anything. So you can cut it off, or you can weave it in. And of course, we just keep going. And we're just gonna keep trucking along here. And the blanket's a little bit bigger now, so we're having to like lift and pull. loop that came out there, so I'll just pull that back through. And then we're just gonna bloop, just like that. And we're just gonna keep going to the end. And I'm actually going to use, I probably don't need to use all 8 skeins, but I'm going to use all 8 skeins. So we're just gonna keep going, and I'm trying to pull some working yarn out here. And if you have like a yarn bucket or something that you can put your yarn in, it makes it a little bit easier so you don't get like, in my house I have dogs that shed heavily. I have a German Shepherd and a Siberian Husky, so I like to keep my yarn off the floor, because no matter how many times you vacuum, we all know that it doesn't do anything. So we're going to go ahead and get to the end here. And that's how you tie on extra yarn. Okay, so that's the end of this row. We tied on that extra yarn. This is about the size of my blanket now, so you can see, and I haven't had a chance to stretch it or anything, so it's going to look a little cattywampus, and that's okay. Super soft. I love the way it's turning out. So again, I'm going to come back when we get to the end of making this blanket. It might be later on today, it might be tomorrow, but I'm going to come back and show you what to do to finish off the blanket. So keep doing what you're doing, and then when we come back, we'll be ready to finish the blanket. And we're back. So now we're at the end of our blanket, and we need to finish it off. So how do we finish it off? Well, I'm going to show you. Don't worry. I got you. So we're at the end of our blanket. Here's the tail. This is the last of the yarn that we have left. I'm hoping that's enough. We're going to play chicken here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it through that first loop, and then we're going to pull it through that second loop like we've been doing. Oh, there it is. But this time, we're going to take the last loop and put the second hoop in it, like that. See how it curves it? So we're now going to take and pull up a loop through this one here. And then we're going to take and put this loop inside of this loop. So you just will put it in there, just like that. And this is how you finish off the blanket. So we're going to insert a loop. We're going to take this loop over here, and we're going to tuck it in there, just like that, pulling that loop up. And we're just going to do this the whole length of the blanket. So we're just going to grab it, pull it, then grab this one, and we're going to pull it through, just like that. So we're going to loop. Like I said, you can make this as long as you want. I'm just doing this for time's sake. We're going to end it so I can just show you how you end the blanket. And then we're going to go here, grab this loop, pull it up. Then we're going to put it in this loop here. So apparently you're playing, it's like leapfrog almost. So we're just going to pull it up, pull the working yarn through this loop. And again, if I'm going too fast, please feel free to stop, pause, rewind, and do what you have to do so that you don't miss anything. And we're just going to keep doing this. We're going to have to shift our blanket. It's gotten a little bit bigger now. So we're going to grab it, pull it through. We're going to put it through here, like that. The next loop, do it like we were doing for the main blanket. And then we're just going to put it in here. So we're going to take it, put our pinchy fingers in, grab that loop, pull it through, just like that. This is also kind of how you would cast off when you're knitting. There's that. We're going to pull this up. Grab this. Pull it up there. We're going to shift the blanket over a little bit so we have some more loops. The working yarn goes up, and then we go in the loop here. There we go. Oh, I was pulling some of the yarn. There we go. So we're going to pull this up, pull it through. This is why you don't want to pull it too tight, because see how it's pulling it out of the thing there? So we're going to loop that one, and then, so there's your next loop here. I did that kind of fast. So we're going to pull that up and then put it in this loop. And you're just going to continue doing this the whole way down. So we lost a loop there. Then we're going to take our working yarn, put it in, and then the back loop is going to go over top of it. There we go. I've been wanting to do this video for so long, but I couldn't get the time to do it, so today seemed like the perfect time to do it. Nice, cool, chilly day. These make great lap blankets, and they're also a little heavy depending on how much yarn you use. So if you're someone who likes weighted blankets, this is also a really good option, and it's super soft. So we're going to go ahead and pull that through there. We're going to loop it up through there. And then we're going to pull it through. We're going to take next, don't want to lose our loop there. Then we're going to take the next one. So again, take your working yarn, put it through the loop like normal, and then take this last loop behind it, and you're going to take and grab that loop and pull it through. That's all that is. And then here's the last one. So we're going to use the working yarn to go through, and then we're going to take this one and pull it through. And that is the last one. So then here is where you would take it, and essentially you would weave it through there. And I'm just going to leave the end like that because I do want to add some more. I just found another couple of skeins of yarn, so I will be adding more to this, but I'm just going to do it like that for right now just so we can show you. And there you have it, your big chunky blanket. We're going to widen you out there. So you can pull and stretch on this. Look at how beautiful those stitches look. So that is how you make a crocheted chunky blanket. I hope this tutorial was at all helpful to you. If it was, please feel free to leave me a like down at the bottom of this video. Also, let me know how you did, and if this was something that you think you can do, leave me a comment to let me know if you did do it, how did you do? But with that said, folks, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to go back to the video, pause it, rewind, stop, do whatever you have to do. Again, right here at the bottom of the video is going to be a little gear. That little gear, if you click on the little gear, it opens up settings, and you want to hit playback speed, and you can make me go slower or faster depending on what your speed level is. Don't worry, this isn't a race. You don't have any time frame to be able to have this done. Again, this is a quick, easy DIY project that is suitable for anyone of all ages. As long as you can make a loop, you can do this blanket. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, questions, comments, concerns, if you can't find it in the video, leave it down below. I'm very responsive. I try to get to you as quickly as I possibly can. But with that said, folks, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel and would like to see more random crazy tutorials or videos just like this, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime I randomly decide to put up a video. And believe me, it's random. But with that said, I must now bid you adieu, but not before reminding you, always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.